Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Piper Academy. Big week going on this week. We got popping off altcoins everywhere around us. Everything is going crazy. We got NVIDIA earnings this week, but we have some data telling us we might be at a turnaround point for Bitcoin, which would bring everything back down or erase all those gains. What is it? We're going to be checking it out here in just a second. Time, guys, right now. It's time now. We're doing it. Let's get it. Class is in session. Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Piper Academy. This is a show that comes out every single Monday through Friday at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, bringing you guys the news, the charts, and the markets. Everything you need to have knowledge, because knowledge is profit. Thanks for joining us here today, guys. We've got a big show lined up. We're going to be doing a lot of TA, a ton. There's a lot of things going on in the charts right now. We're hitting a lot of resistances, breaking a lot of resistances, hitting a lot of supports, and getting bounces to those resistances. So we're going to be looking at all that. But right now, what I want to do the most is I want to bring up my co-host. Let's do that. What's up, TradeFly? What's up, OC guy?
What's up, guys? It's good to be back. As you can see, I'm actually at home, which is awesome. So this weekend was great. We went and did some skiing with the little ones, had a great time. And yeah, dude, I'm super excited to get this party started today.
Nice. Absolutely, man. That's just so you guys know, no traditional markets today. Wall Street's closed. It's President's Day, so there's no TradeFly out there to play hell on our stuff today. So there's no Fed Reserve data coming out today. There's no Fed rate reports coming out today. I'm just saying, we should have an easy day as long as this is not a bull trap. And I have a reason to think this could be the setup of a bull trap. We're going to be looking at that. OC, what's going on, man? How you doing, brother?
Not much, doing fantastic. I just heard TradeFly saying, get the what started? Get the what
Party
started?
time.
Get the party started. Yes. Guys, OC now has graphics, so that's awesome. There's an echo.
Hey, Piper. Yeah, I was about to say, I think it might be coming through your speakers.
That's weird. I got echo cancellation on, but you guys let me know in the chat if that helped. So
Test.
Let's go ahead and keep it going. TradeFly, did you have some news you wanted to look at?
Yeah, man. Let's so the first thing that I got pulled up here is from Ethereum, right? And so one of the things about Ethereum that, we don't really acknowledge all that often is that they're still building, and like they're still just plugging away and trying to make things better and more efficient. And I don't know that myself, I haven't talked about it all that much, but one of the things that they're looking at right now is with the vertical trees, which is going to be part of the Ethereum's post-merge roadmap. It's promising smaller proof sizes as well as lower hardware requirements for nodes. So, it's kind of interesting news. That's one of the really interesting things with Ethereum, that it's going to get better, right? And what it's basically going to allow making nodes to run with near zero hard disk space, and it's going to sync instantly. So, it's good, and it's just, more, it's just has a very solid foundation. So, just don't forget about Ethereum. I know a lot of people are getting tired of the gas fees, and they're kind of looking elsewhere. Altcoins are starting to pop quite a bit, but hey, Ethereum, Old Faithful, it's still there, it's still building, and it's still strong.
Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and go to your stuff real fast because I'm trying to fix the echo, so I can't do that and talk at the same time. So continue on with whatever else you got here. Let's show some stuff.
Cool. Yeah. Let's look at the liquidation heat map, shall we? Now, the reason I want to look at that is because there's an area building up here, and it makes sense, right? People are looking to go short, and it's at about 52.6, which is over our local high. All right. So keep an eye on this area right here, and then also keep an eye down here at about 51.5 and about 51.475 or so. You can see it. It's building up here and here. That's on the daily. Let's go ahead and take a look at the weekly. I'm going to pull that up. There you go. So again, you can see even on the weekly, pretty significant. And then right here, 53, another solid area that you see it building up. So what do we talk about on here when we start looking at the liquidation heat maps? Well, the thing that I like to say is that price likes to follow liquidity, right? So if you have areas like the maker needs to get his, let's call it what it is, right? So these exchanges, they are incentivized to liquidate you. They can make money that way. So look at these hotspots, right? Because here, there's fair game to see some consolidation bouncing around, but at some point it's going to reach a wick, which is a lot of times what you'll see is a really strong wick, and it knocks out all this liquidity. Then it comes back down into the range that we're seeing right now. So just want you guys to keep an eye on that. I want to point that out to you guys. Piper, how you doing? You back in the game? You want me to keep going?
I think I'm back in the game as long as I can keep one muted and the other, but I'll have to mess with it while you guys are doing TA. But we're going to keep it going here and try to keep this going as much as possible. So let's go. Let's go ahead and jump into the news right now and get that started. All right, guys. Sorry about that echo. I'm not sure where it's coming from. I've got like 5 different devices that all create what this show is, and I'm trying to run down which one it is. So I apologize. But let's go ahead. Let's jump into the news and see what we got today, guys. The daily news today brought to you by Decrypted Tax, the trusted tax attorney for all of your tax goods. If you guys have any questions, just give him a call. He'll give you a free consultation and you get 25% off of your services. When the IRS knocks on your door, you want someone you can trust. That's Ernest telling you with the alumni. He'll take care of you. Guys, let's jump over. Let's take a look at the news and what we got today, because we got some big data coming out this week that I don't want you guys to miss. First off, let's take a look at the crypto bubbles here. Looking at the crypto bubbles, a lot of movement on here. One of these stands out to me, and I don't know about you guys, but it's WLD token. That is World Token over there, getting a 38.1% move. If you guys don't know what that is, that's the one that does the eye scanning thing that everybody was so against. It's moving. And why is it moving? It's a lot to do with Chat GPT. Sam Altman over there, this is his token. And he's come out with the new GPT for OpenAI that does talk to video. So I can literally tell it, or text to video, I should say. And so I can tell it, create an image of a car crashing into off a cliff, whatever, and it will create the video, right? So it's pretty cool technology, but a lot of people associating that with WLD, getting a lot of movements off of that token. So taking a look over here, we got Caspa up 13.6%. Shout out to the Caspa holders out there. HBAR 16.5%. And Arweave, which I just talked about in the chat on Saturday on Investing Bros. I said, hey, take a look at this. It kind of looks like it could be pulling back, but I'm seeing some other stuff that's bullish. And Tim looked at it, thought the same thing, and what did we get? We got another big move off of it. So it was a very confusing chart, and I'm glad that I did not go against it. I went with the flow. So that's what we did there. Let's look at the liquidations here, guys. In the past 24 hours, let's give a little refresh here because I was messing with a lot of stuff on the sound end. In the past 24 hours, 52,106 traders were liquidated. Total liquidations coming in at $130.7 million. The largest liquidation was on Binance. It was Bitcoin coming in at $3.92 million there. Over to the economic calendar. Like I told you guys, nothing on Monday, nothing on Tuesday. Federal holiday today. We have nothing tomorrow. And then we have Wednesday. Wednesday is going to be the FOMC minutes. We're going to be getting those minutes. What they are the detailed notes that were taken at the actual meeting last month. And so this is where people can read between the lines and try to figure out what is the Federal Reserve's next move. So that's going to be coming out tomorrow. And then on Thursday, we're going to get those initial jobless claims for the week for how many people file for unemployment. Right now, estimated to be 215,000 to 217,000. Previously was 212,000. That would be an increase in a weakening of the labor market, which means that the labor force is getting weaker, which means that we should see some positive market move because that means the Fed Reserve is damaging the labor force, which then damages the economy. So, yeah, we should see some movement off of that if it comes in around that 217,000, just so you guys are tracking. And then on Friday, there is nothing. So, yeah, very slow week on the Fed side this week. Let's check over where it's not slow this week, though. That is going to be on the earnings reports, guys. Wednesday is the only one on here that I really need to point out to you. Yeah, there's a lot of earnings this week. 15% of the S&P has their earnings reports this week. But the big one, it is going to be Wednesday after close, and it's right there. NVIDIA is going to be coming out with their earnings report. I am poised. This is not financial advice. It's me. I am poised to pick up some more NVIDIA before that earnings report because I think that we're going to get a nice kickoff. But I do think that we'll pull back possibly on Wednesday morning before that comes out, and then that's going to get a lot of people some opportunity to pick up or get a lot of people to sell off before the move. So that's what I'm watching there. Not financial advice, but that's how I'm setting it up. Check out this, guys. Japan's venture capital sector nears approval for crypto asset holdings. So the country's cabinet has approved a bill that would spur investments in Web3 startups. The legislation gives venture capitalist firms the flexibility to participate in the crypto economy. So this is really big for Japan. They just slipped out of the third largest economy in the world. There's a lot of issues with going on over there with inflation and such. And this would give the opportunity to a lot of their investment funds and stuff to get into crypto assets and be able to acquire and hold those. So very bullish for Japan and very bullish for crypto. It's new money coming in. So it's new institutional money from a country that's not the United States. So looking here, guys, the graph up 60% rally as network demand rises. Details are on this that it basically the past week has seen GRT project facilitating decentralized access to blockchain data skyrocketing 60% in price. And a big reason for this, the rise in AI, guys. GRT has been up for 5 days in a row, reaching its highest level since May 2022. At its lowest point in 2023, it increased by over 163%. So AI play, the graph, GRT token is what we have there. Let's go over here and let's talk real fast with my gang because I've got them muted on their end so I don't get the echo. And I want to see if they got any input on this stuff so far. So let's go over here. You're good. What's up, man?
Go ahead. I was going to let OC go since I took the first round there.
OC, what do you think about
That's fine, go
GRT?
ahead, and then we just-
AI plays. What do you think on those right now? So.
All right, so the AI play is basically a huge game in the industry. I am looking forward for AI and also gaming. I believe that this is gonna draw a ton of people, especially that now AI is just entangled with everything. So yeah, I mean, under my perspective, that is a cool move, and we're gonna be seeing money inflow based on that. Although I am expecting a little bit more on AI before I really start jumping in heavily on AI. Like I was talking a while back, and like something like AI entangling with NVIDIA for rendering, and when we see that, I believe that that's going to be something important.
Yeah, I absolutely agree, man. Getting my legendary aviation coffee in there with TradeFly while you were talking. I saw you. I got you, man.
Yeah.
TradeFly, what you think on it, bro?
Nah, I'm kind of aligned, and I think we all are. AI is definitely one of the big future markets for tech, right? There's a lot of concentration on it. There's a lot of money that's flowing into it, research and development. I mean, that's really how NVIDIA's made its move. Let's be honest. This past year and a half or so has really been that AI narrative because they're one of the leaders in that industry. So keep an eye on things like Tesla and some of the other companies that have a heavy investment in AI. So that's what you need to start looking for. NVIDIA's popped, right? So yeah, can you make some money there? Probably. But let's look for that next, company that's going to be heavily invested that has that potential for some explosive movement. So that's just kind of my thoughts on it. AI, games, that narrative right there, I think is going to be two of the strongest players in the crypto market because, well, not say the crypto market, games for sure, right? Because that's going to, I think, provide utility in the crypto market. But AI, yeah, by itself is just going to be, it's going to be the future. whether you like it or not. We're gonna come up
I
with the
do have a
dumbest
little
things
tip.
for us to make AI. Like that's what we're gonna do as people. We're gonna
True.
be lazy, and we're gonna be like, what can this thing do for me so that I don't have to move off the couch?
True. Absolutely, man. OC, what were you saying, bro?
I have a little tip that I want to give you guys is that I am looking based on what TradeFly is mentioning. I am looking for Blender. I am looking also after Octane. I'm looking on V-Ray. I'm looking on those rendering engines that are very, very cool, and they are used to do exactly what you can see behind me. That is a rendering that's made with V-Ray, and I looking at those ones when they start using AI for their rendering mashup, especially with NVIDIA. So I'm looking closely. Also, RenderBox. It's another huge one that I'm looking after.
Nice.
Nice.
Appreciate it, man. By the way, the echo had stopped, so I'm going to guess it was somebody had. Yeah, I knew it. What's up, OC? How you doing, man? Let's go and get back.
No, it wasn't me.
It wasn't. It wasn't you.
OC's the easy scapegoat, dude. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. It just stopped. It completely stopped on us.
yeah.
All right, let's get back to the news over here, guys. Bitcoin futures. This is the headline for today, guys. And this is important, and we're going to walk you through why this is important. Bitcoin futures open interest reaches the highest level since November 2021. Do you guys know what happened in November 2021? Does anybody remember? I would like to know in the chat. Let me know in the chat if you guys remember what happened in November 2021 with Bitcoin. And then I'll show you another reason why you should have a little concern. I'm not selling. I'm not telling everybody run for the hills. I do think we're going to see a retracement off of this. That's just my opinion on it. So open interest for Bitcoin futures on centralized exchanges reached a new yearly high after the price rally. Aggregated open interest for Bitcoin futures stands at $22.9 billion, its highest level since November 2021. So open interest for Bitcoin futures on centralized exchanges has hit that new high, reaching levels not seen since November 2021, and is highlighting increased trading activity around the largest cryptocurrency. So according to CoinGlass, aggregated open interest reached that $22.9 billion, approaching the peak of about $24 billion that was made back in 2021. So I wanted you guys to see this, and then there's something that I want to show you on this that is going to give us a little bit of insight. So you can see right now, I pulled up the CME historics data. This is Bitcoin futures data, okay? And I have it running from February 1st, 2021 to current February 19th, okay? And if you look here, you can see currently right now, this is really up there. This is the high level that we were just talking about, right? If we go back and we look at this, we'll come over to talk this out because I want to explain this to people. We haven't hit this level since November 2021. For those that hit it in the chat there, that is when we had the all-time high, right? People were really bullish on it. We hit the all-time high, and it really pulled back harsh. The other time that we've had this all-time high hit like this range of futures contracts, May 2021. Anybody remember what happened in May 2021? That is when we went backwards from like that first peak of the bull run down to the summer low, and then bounced back up to the all-time high. So when we get high futures like this, not always. Yes, rainy days, TradeFly. Not always, guys. There are times that we continue going up, okay? Pre-bull run, we started hitting high numbers on the way up, right? Last halving. So we could be seeing that, but it is a little concerning when we're getting futures levels as high as we're seeing right now. And that bullishness could lead to a squeeze on the longs, a long squeeze, if you will. Seeing that and knowing that, I'm just going to put out caution. That is this week's operative word is caution. But I think we got a lot of bullish stuff in the charts. OC, TradeFly, what do you guys think of this data on these futures that's coming in?
Yeah, man. A word of caution. I get that. And the thing that I pointed out about a week ago or so is take a look at where we're at time now for Bitcoin. We're at a significant area of resistance. and it really correlated with the previous all-time high as well as the high in November of 2021. So take a look at that on the charts because it's kind of all lining up right there. You can see where the pink line is, and just look back on the charts and you can see that. Let me actually pull it up here so I can do some movement, and you can see right here. Look at that right there. And then you see this is support, right? So you have support, you have resistance, it pops off. Remember, that's what I always look for, significant up thrust or something where it actually falls through. And you can see right here where it fell through, came back up, retested it, and then boom. Now here we are, time now. This is a significant area. And it lines up with the narrative that he's feeding you right now. So just keep an eye on it. Again, I think he's totally accurate when he says word of caution. I would like to see it get over this area and then boom, and then go up. That would make me feel better personally. But what we can look for here, there's two things to think about. If we get this area of resistance and then we find consolidation in this area, that's not a bad thing because then we get that traditional flow from Bitcoin into the alts. And you can start seeing those alts pop. And you saw it this weekend too, right? Some of them are up 20, 30%. It's like playing whack-a-mole right now with the alts. You're just going to see each one's popping off. Which project do I get in? When do I get in it? And that's why we watch these shows, maybe to get ahead or maybe hear about a project we didn't know of. So sorry, long-winded answer, but I agree.
No, it's great data. That's perfect. And that's exactly why I'm in the line I'm in right now. Like we are at major resistance. We do have this data coming in that mirrors data that we've had before. History may not always repeat, but it definitely rhymes. It drops bars. Okay. But it's not all bearish news. I do have some bullish news, but OC, you got anything on this futures interest right now that's hitting?
Absolutely. So I do expect almost exactly, like shockingly exactly the same as TradeFly. I do have two little charts there. One, it goes for the 4 hour that let me just pull them up then here. And here we go. This is go for the 4 hour that, as you can see, I am expecting a possible next bull flag before we possibly have a retraction out of a 10%. And then I have a secondary chart, which is I am expecting a big waving area where we are right now. But as you can see, I was expecting it earlier. I'm just right now going to be updating this little oscillating area, and this go for the daily. I know I'm the 4 hour, but this goes for the daily. Why? Because we are in a huge resistance. It is historical data. Usually historical data has a ton of weight on technical analysis. And yeah, I mean, you guys know that I'm still waiting for a reversal or for a pullback where it will enable me to enter a little bit more for my holdings. Nonetheless, remember, I'm still pushing for the $500,000 Bitcoin. That doesn't mean that I'm bearish, right? So that's what I got on Bitcoin and that data that you shared.
Yeah, I do think that we could be in this situation of just disbelief too. Like that is a possibility. Like it can't keep going up like this. It's got to pull back, and it just keeps going up, right? There is that psychological level there where we hit disbelief, and that could be exactly where we are right now also. And we just refuse to believe that it can run this parabolically this early because, guys, we're way early. We typically have a 30 to 50% pullback, and we did not hit anywhere in that rate. Well, close to it. I'll show you guys what we actually hit. We did have the pullback. If that was our pullback, it was not like a historical pullback. It was much smaller. So we'll take a look at that. I do have one last piece of news here that I want to show you guys. And this is going to be your hopium for the day. Here's your daily dose of Bitcoin hopium. 2 reasons Bitcoin could challenge record highs of 69K before the halving. Data from past cycles entered around halvings and key technical analysis tools suggest that the path of least resistance is higher. Bitcoin tends to rally over 30% in 8 weeks leading up to the reward of the halving. And then according to 10x research, Bitcoin's fourth halving due April 19th, 9th, 19th, somewhere in that ballpark. Bitcoin's daily RSI has crossed above 80. It's a threshold that historically presaged 60-day gains over 50%. And so we're there right now on that. Again, that is the daily RSI. So we'll be taking a look at that too. Bitcoin has had a stellar few months here with bulls ignoring a resurgent U.S. dollar and treasury yields. The dollar moving up with Bitcoin. We talked about that 2 weeks ago on why that would be. And that has been occurring while a pullback that looks plausible. The broader uptrend looks set to continue with prices revisiting potentially surpassing the record high of $69,000 before Bitcoin blockchain's fourth mining reward halving, which is coming soon. That's the message from 10x Research. Through technical analysis and study and past data called in relation to the RSI. So there's your daily hopium, guys. I hope that wrapped up a little bit of the bearish sentiment that I'm talking about with the futures, because we do have some bullish stuff. Let's go ahead. Let's start the TA, guys. Let's get into the TA, because that's what we really love to do here. I'll talk news and economy all day long, but give me a chart and I'm a happy, happy man. Oh, hey, guys, check it out. OC's got a new background over there. It's the Mexican spaghetti. So love it, bro. Fantastic. Let's get in here, take a look at what we're seeing. So I'm looking at Bitcoin right now, 4-hour chart. You can see that we had a lot of resistance right here on this delta median line. For those that are new here that may not have ever seen this, these lines that are running right here. So we got, this top purple one right here. There's a gray one, yellow, blue, yellow, gray, and then purple, right? These are predictive ranges from the dynamic pro indicator from Chart Prime. And a lot of times when we have these on, we trade between this gold band and this gold band. We came and we broke that purple, went into a whole new set. These were over here. So we already knew that this line was going to be in play. This line was going to be in play. And we could assume that this one would have been tested. Did not get exactly tested. We went up to that delta median, got a lot of resistance there. We pulled back. This test right here, that is on the 618 of my Fibonacci channel of the golden pocket. And then it comes up. We got a lot of resistance on this upper trade band. That is where we are fighting right now. So that on top, that to me is bearish right now, despite what's going on with the price action on the alts. That's bearish. This resistance being double tested here and not being able to get above it and break into new ranges, a little bit bearish, especially when I see that I'm getting curvature on the oscillator ribbon down here, and we are getting small candles on that RSI. That RSI getting those small candles says that we could have a retest. I'm looking, if we do this, to be a retest like we had here on that 0.66 Fibonacci, which is about $50,800. I think I gave you guys that range last week and said watch for a $50,800 retest. So holding strong there on that range of support. So if we go and look at the daily though, and you'll see here on the daily what they were talking about on that RSI, guys. They were talking about this RSI being up to 80. That is right here, and it is absolutely in that range. But I do want to show that we have hit that before. We were hitting it here, and we still had a pullback. If we pull up that price action there you go. It came down, caught support in that golden band of the predictive ranges before coming back up. So we are sitting there, but it doesn't mean anything if it's looking like other times before and we still had pullbacks then. They're talking about the time based that we're hitting that range this close to the halving historically has been bullish. So we'll have to wait and see, guys. There's a lot of mixed back and forth on this. Overall, if we look at the chart, this is all we got to do at the end of the day. Go see if we're okay on the chart. If we look at the chart over here on the dynamic, on my long-term Fibonacci channels, guys, we're in phase 3 strong still. We're still have not hit that upper level, and I do think that we will hit that 55,956. We'll call it 56,000 for the sake of simplicity and psychological numbers there. But I do think we are going to go up to retest that. But if we do pull back, I'm still watching that 48,600. That is going to be a key level of support on the pullback. Now, that pullback that I said that we did have, that I would show you, that everyone always talks about, 30 to 50%. we did have a pullback when we rejected right here on 48,600. We rejected and we came down and tested perfectly on the golden pocket, but that was only a 21% move. It is possible that that 30 to 50% retracement that we typically get could have played out on a 21% move, and that some of that bearish retracement that we get was absorbed by institutional buying pressure from the ETFs. Very, very possible that that is the case. And not because they're buying it, but because the buying pressure that they're putting on is causing a lot of momentum for retail buyers to grab it up. So very possible. TradeFly OC, who wants to go in the shoot first? That is what I got for opening TA today.
I'll pass it over to my homie.
All right, OC, you in the shoot. Let's go. Get it.
Absolutely. Let's take a look at it. Right here, we already have touched on Bitcoin. So let's move to something that I really like, which is Cardano.
Old Jim Cramer, Cardano.
Absolutely. So let's take a look at what we had here. Basically, I was expecting a little ranging zone in this area. Seems like we're pulling up in this area. We had a little support in here. So we had a little bit of resistance before pushing into this ranging zone. And we're finally in. As you can see, we're having some troubles breaking it. And that was a good indication for me that we could be going back here as breaking previous resistance becomes new support. So let's just wrap it up and let's take a look at how is that support looking like. So let me now hide my spaghetti there. So we need some spaghetti there. And start looking that we have the trend assistance coming in strong, and the prime range is also pulling on this area right here. I'm gonna shut that down and then start moving into my next big support and resistance. This is my VPVR, my POC VPVR, and right now we're staying at 0.59. So come on, TradingView, do not die on me today, please. All right, so it seems like we are still within that support area. Let's turn that one off. And also, let's take a look at our predictive ranges. Our predictive ranges are also pointing at this same area. Look at that. We only have a couple of dollars or cents out of difference. And everything is pointing that we could be having that retrace to this area right here. So still on track, looking for ADA to make or break. We are still bullish. That retracement doesn't mean that we're gonna be reversing completely. And yeah, that's what I got. Also wanted to shout out to T-Shroom that is right now with us in the chat. So shout out.
Absolutely. I was going to shout him out. We also got Jenna X in here too. So shout out to everyone. Shout out to everyone that's here. You guys joining us makes me humbled and honored because we're just a bunch of nobodies that like to look at charts like nerds. So, and you guys find interest in it. So shout out to you guys. TradeFly, what you got for us, brother?
Hell yeah. Let me get a couple shout outs in there too. Oh, FD White's in here.
Oh yeah, FD White coming on the
twin,
show.
Alex O, Dave Digital, always stirring it up. Hey, just want to say what's up. All right, so JASMY. This is something we hardly ever talk about, but it is a coin that I was interested in during the last bull run. This one got slammed during the bear market, absolutely wrecked. But it's starting to make a move. The reason I'm looking at it, it's one of the top movers of the previous 2 days. It pumped with the Asia market, which makes sense because they were trying to be the Bitcoin of Japan, right? But they had some really good leadership. So this is the reason I was initially interested in it. They have some former execs from Sony. So some really top tier guys. They were trying to go with an Internet of Things, project, and it was about security. And I was like, oh, sounds interesting. Anyways, looking at it right now because, hey, it's interesting. And the reason it is look at this. Significant level of resistance, right? So it just had a nice pump up. Unfortunately, we might have missed the pullback off that rejection. But what I want to point out too is, with the chart prime indicators that we have here, it did print a broadening wedge, which just showed you some resistance here. And then when we have the dynamic support and resistance levels, one of my favorite indicators right now is free. You guys can pull that off TradingView. Look at this. Look at all the volume that came in when it hit this area of resistance. All right, so that's a huge confirmation of what you're seeing on the charts. And this is why I love horizontal levels personally, because you can see it, support, resistance, resistance, and then boom, it got rejected pretty hard. So, that could have been a pretty nice play. But why should we look at it now? Because if we break that area, that's why. So keep an eye on this area right here at about, we'll call it 0088, 87, somewhere around there. If it breaks that area, you could see a nice little move up. Look, there's an empty spot here, a nice little gap. And I would look more here personally, just because you see these wicks, all right, that shows me selling pressure in that area. And then you can see some support here as well. So I would look more at about 1 cent or so. But that would be a nice little move if it does break this area. So let's do a little measurement from current area. Did I get it? I did. All right, cool. To right there about the top. That's a 38% move. So keep an eye on it. I'm not saying trade it. Definitely do your own research, but it could be, something to keep an eye on. So there you go.
Awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, I want to jump over to something here real fast and show you guys on my chart. We're going to be looking here at, first we're going to go to here. Last week, and this comes out again today, guys, so that if you don't know, this is for our members. We have a weekly newsletter that comes out to our members. If you are interested in getting one of this perk among many others, check out the join button down below. Any level will get you this. And this is the weekly newsletter that we put out here. It'll be coming out again this week, so it'll be coming out this morning. But, we got Finance 101, Gemology. But I want to show you something that we put in here last week. We put in for Piper's pick last week, CASPA. And I said CASPA's enjoyed an easy pump on 2 levels of the trend-based fib extensions, landing price at the phase 7 golden pocket. And I got the chart down here. We were sitting right here, phase 7 golden pocket at about 14.5 cents. I said my 2 targets that I'm looking at is 15.5 and 16.1. I said if we do get a retracement, it would be looking at 12.8, but I put in 2 take profit points on this trade for the entry. And if we go and take a look at what happened with that, you will see, if I get to the right chart, there we go. Go over to CASPA, and let's go check out CASPA and see what CASPA has done. It has by far surpassed my 2 take profit points and just absolutely crushed up higher, guys. These fib extension lines that I built in, which I did all the way back when CASPA was at 4.5 cents, have been playing flawlessly on levels of support and resistance. And we have now broken another point on this current 4 hours, another point of resistance at 17.8 cents. It is now below us. We are moving up for more. We did hit this purple line right here, which is the top frame of those predictive ranges I was talking about. And you can also see that the previous predictive ranges were that resistance level. So breaking that there, giving us that launch up, enough momentum to break through another resistance level. And right now testing that. If we do get this is going to be my setup on CAS this week. If we get a rejection here, and let me go over and get the arrow so we can get the path here. If we get this rejection off of this purple predictive range line here, right? And we come down and we find support on the phase 9 golden pocket at 17.8 cents, I would be watching that as the entry up to this point here for our next target, and that would be at 19.4 cents. But again, that requires us to retest, like I'm saying, retest here at 17.8 cents on that phase 9 golden pocket and get a confirmed retest of support and then go up. So that's how I would set that. I would set my stop loss on this. If I were going to go for this, I would set my stop loss on this just down beneath this previous candle pullback that we had here. And I would have take profit 1, take profit 2, take profit 1 coming in at 19.4 cents, take profit 2 at 21 cents. So there you go, guys. That is my bullish setup for CASPA this week. Look for that newsletter coming out today in about 3 hours or so. Crux will have that done and be out for all the members. So take a look in there at Piper's pick for this week. Not going to be on CASPA. I'm going to find something else for you guys this week. OC, let's kick it back over to you. And then I'm going to be coming back to check out HNT for major pain, unless one of you guys have got it on the 4 hour. But I'll take a look at it if not, because he did tag me specifically. So OC, run with what you got, bro.
Absolutely. Oh, I don't know why I said, oh, I see right here. ICP. I want to go over ICP today. Let's take a look at what I
Mexican spaghetti. That's what I see.
Absolutely. We have a little bit of spaghetti right there. And let's just see through it, because remember that last time we were talking about this ICP, it was Piper and I throwing 2 kinds of targets. Remember the 15 minutes and also the 4 hour. Both of those hits, so shout out for both of those. And let's show that love And now let's see what else do we have. So the first thing I'm going to be doing is rebuilding that confluence that I have going on. So I'm just going to recycle this line in here and move it forward to just overextend this area. Another thing that I'm going to be doing is this alert that wasn't hitting. Look at that. It was very, very close. So that's why I did not enter on this trade, just so you know. And based on that, I will be recycling that alert and moving it forward to the upside. But first, let's take a look at that. We are breaking, but also rejecting out of this prime range. Also, let's bring up where is my support and resistance, my money flow POC, and also my VPVR. Look at that, all the way up here. And also very, very, very important, one of my most important liquidity zones is hovering all the way up here. For me, liquidity zones are magnetic and also highly rejective. So be careful on that one. But also seems like we could be keep pushing upwards. Why? Because we are very, very strongly bullish and we have a very low consolidation. So we are not consolidating. So what is the target? It is all the way up here so far. Would all be chasing after that price? Not for now until I see a retracement. But you see that retracement? Well then, sort of. Let's see how far back could it go so I can maybe do a re-entry. For those, I'm going to be using my support resistance that I see right here that I'm pulling back from. And also, I'm going to be using a little trick on my predictive ranges. Can you guys see? Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit farther here. Can you guys see these itty bitty tiny lines they just plot? Let me give you a pro tip. Once we break one of those purple lines on our predictive ranges, we're gonna rebuild a new set of predictive ranges. And the most hit line will be the delta line, the blue line, the mirror line, whatever you want to call it, right? This line right here. And so far as you can see, we break and we're going to visit. So for now, this is going to be my next target that I'm going to be looking for. Does that mean that I'm going to be getting there? No. But does that increases the chances? Absolutely, yes, it does. So let me also bring up another volume profile magnifier by Jacob Nagaby, and we can see that we are rejecting all the way up there. And finally, let's take a look at this trend line that I have going on in here. So I'm going to paint over it and also show you that I have a loud order block. Remember, soft order blocks are easy to break through. High order blocks are hard to break through, and loud order blocks are the hardest to break through. So, and they are also magnetic. So what am I expecting? And I want to see is a pullback like that somewhere around this area, maybe with some sort of a wick like that, but to the downside, that wicks into the loud area, into the loud order block, grab some liquidity and keep pushing upwards to the next area, which is all the way up here. So until I see that retracement, I will not be jumping in. And also I want to see the FOR twice so I can enter right here on the flip of the ribbon and support. But so far, ICP playing out very, very nicely. We are bullish. That's what I got.
All right, perfect. TradeFly, what you got for us, brother?
Right on, right on. This one is for Christian Mayer. He was looking for Avalanche on the 4 hour. So I have that pulled up right now. Got all kinds of lines, all kinds of, I don't know. I'm going to have to come up with something besides spaghetti because I got horizontal lines. I'm going to figure that out. I'm going to work on that for you guys. Actually, in the chat, give me an idea for horizontal lines all over the place because I'm your guy. All right, so looking at this, right? The area I just want to point out to you, Christian, is this area right here, around the 382, all right? And the reason I'm pointing that out is because you have the dynamic reactor, you have the volume area high, you have just a horizontal line that I identified. So, or actually, that's actually with the support and resistance, the dynamic one from Chart Prime. So look, you got all this confluence right here. If it pulls back, this would be an area that I would be keeping an eye on, right? Because right now, looking at the oscillator, you can see it just turned red. All right, so I'm going to say it's probably going to pull back. And the reason I say that is just looking at some of the other altcoins right now. You saw that rotation. A lot of altcoins are popping. Avalanche did not, right? So for me, that kind of triggers me to be like, hey, we'll probably see like a small pullback as some of the other altcoins, you know, pull back after they just pumped. That's likely that you'll see some kind of consolidation. Naturally, I would see the price, I would think, kind of come down to this area. So target area for you to kind of look at if you're trying to lather into it, or if potentially you're looking at a long position, not financial advice, but this is where I would look, is somewhere around 37.7 or so. Okay, maybe a little higher, maybe 38, just to get ahead of everything that's coming here. That would be an area I'm looking at. And then you can see some horizontal areas here, right? So if you look at the dynamic and resistance indicator here, that's a mouthful. I might have to come up with something short there. Let your chart prime buddies know, please. I need something shorter. All right.
You got it.
So
No.
thanks. It's a mouthful. All right. So looking at this area of resistance, this could be a likely rejection area, and that does kind of beat this one right here where you have kind of a local high. So that would probably be an area to exit, or maybe an area that I'd keep an eye on if we actually break through it. Now we're looking for some kind of retest, but really this is the significant area, right? So if we do come up here, definitely looking for a little bit of a pullback before we see some kind of move to the upside. So two real target areas, 37, 30, we'll call it 38, up to about 42.3. That's kind of what I would be looking at. And like I said, my bias right now would be for it to pull back a little bit before we see some kind of movement to the upside.
All right. So, in the chat, they're saying they call them either runways or chemtrails.
Chemtrails. That's it. That's the one.
That's the one.
Why I love the chat. Yeah.
All right, guys, I'm pulling up H&T. I'm seeing some stuff here on helium, and just for for clarity's sake here, I do want to point out that I do have an H&T miner right over here on this shelf mining H&T, so I want to see it go up. But I'm actually seeing some stuff that tells us we're going to go down. I put on a couple of support ranges here, and we're going to show you why I'm seeing this. First off, I've got Fibonacci's on here. These fibs going all the way back in history. If I put this on the daily, from the top range back here, that occurred back here on, that is going to be June of 2022, and I actually need to move that up just a little bit. There we go. That is going to be June of 2022, down to the bottom that we had right here in March of 2023. We did get a lot of bounces here and a lot of plays that I do want to point out to you guys. First of all, the 382 right here was key resistance, became support. We had a lot of plays here on the 50% line, tapping on top of that before this big run up that we had. I always say if we're below the 50 and get rejected, it's bearish. If we're above the 50 and we get a bounce on it, it's bullish, right? So if we take a look at what happened there, we had previous resistance of the golden pocket. Also, we did wick above it, but the candle close pretty much came down to that 0.66, giving us that resistance range there. We have now broken into the platinum pocket. And you can see we almost wicked completely up to the 887, the top of the platinum pocket, and rejected back below. Well, what is this purple line right here that I'm seeing? Guys, that's a value area high, and we have lost the value area high. We're fighting it right now. We can't stay above it. If we reject off of this value area high, does anybody know where the likely target is? I will tell you, the only reason I have this green support range here is because of the golden pocket and some other stuff that I'm getting ready to show you. But if the reason I have it down here is because that's the 50 again for another retest, and that dash red line is the point of control. And normally when you lose and get a rejection on the value area high, you return to the point of control. So looking at this right now, what I'm seeing is I am looking for us to pull back as far as $7.21 to $6.80, we'll call it, on that golden pocket, on that 50% right there. That is if the golden pocket does not hold. And that golden pocket, let me make these numbers a bit bigger for the viewers out there so that you can see them. That golden pocket, 618 coming in at $6.14, 0.66, top of that golden pocket coming in at $8.61. So 861, 814. Let's go ahead and throw on chart prime and see what I'm getting here. And then we'll also look at the oscillators. That wick that got rejected right before that 887, guys, it hit a top trade band here. That top trade band, again, from the predictive ranges of the Dynamics Pro, that is literally what we wicked up to, and we came down into here, almost hitting into the golden pocket before we went back up. that rejection point of the bottom of that green line that's in line with the golden pocket here, that that support band, coming in right here with a delta for a retest. You can see that resistance also playing perfectly in line on that delta median with the golden pocket of the Fibonacci. So let's take a look at also what we're seeing here on the daily and on the 4-hour oscillators. We do have a ribbon twist here coming back down into the cloud. We had overbought. We do have the red candles starting to get an ever so slight green candle on the Heikin-Ashi RSI right now. But if we look at the 4-hour giving us indication of some other stuff. Let me remove the Mexican spaghetti brought to you by OC Guy. We do have the downtrend arrow printing right now. Looks like we're getting ready to get a ribbon pinch there, red on that Fibonacci. So I could see on the 4-hour pullback retracement, okay, down to that golden pocket range. If we hold that, that would be in line with the dynamic reactor on the 4-hour, and that's my first line of defense on a bounce again, right? So we're going to hit that and then hopefully come back up. But if we break that and we break that dynamic reactor again, I'm looking at that 50% down there with the point of control in those ranges that we talked about. On the 4-hour, not much down there. So on the daily, though, daily does have a little bit of hope there with that 50%, because by the time we get down there on that move, this dynamic reactor could be easily in there to play as extra support with that point of control and the 50% Fibonacci. There's your HNT, TA. OC, let's kick it back over to you, bro.
Absolutely. It seems that we do have two requests. We have AVAX and also we have NOS. So I have both of them pulling up. Also, if you guys want to take, what is it?
Didn't we just do AVAX?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, I'll do AVAX, and do you guys want to take notes?
No, we just did AVAX. TradeFly just did it.
Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, do that one, bro.
Think about the graphics.
You weren't paying attention to the TA without telling me you weren't paying attention to the TA.
Yeah, right.
Exactly. Just repeat it twice.
What are you doing over there, man? You playing Uno again? Huh? Playing Uno on the job?
I'm playing with a new toy.
Hey, man. I'm watching you, bro.
Where are those, my cards?
All right, let's check out NOS.
All right. Absolutely. Let's take a look at those ones. Well, for me, it doesn't seem too good, to be honest here. Now, it seems a little bit more bearish for me, unless we are able to flip back up immediately or almost right away. Yes, we are green in candles. But we're technically below the dynamic reactor. Let's zoom in so we can see it. There is our dynamic reactor, very thin because we don't have the volume to jumping into there, and that's why we see it oscillating. But we do have a couple of sets of soft order blocks, which, remember, they are easily breakable. But if you start stacking one on top of another on those soft order blocks, well, then you can start building up a hard or even a loud order block. So far, I'm going to be considering this whole thing because it's too spread apart, kind of like a soft landing that the SEC was talking about, right? So the only thing that is worrying me, it is the oscillator. It is actually flipping down and rejecting. Seems like it's rejecting out of that zero line. Look at our prime score is bearish and our consolidation score is neutral. So we are consolidating. We need to be careful because if we go down, most likely we're going to visit this area right here where is the VPVR and also these two soft order blocks. So we could still go all the way down here before having a flip of the ribbon. The interesting thing and what it worried me the most is this area or this reaction here. Look at all the way here that we were above the zero line. We kept pushing forward until here. All right, all the way to this area, we held this soft order block. But now the story has changed. We are below the zero line, which means this area could easily be broken, and the next big area of confluence will be that loud order block. So just be careful because we might as well have a little bit of retracement on us. So just keep your eyes open with that one. So turning it back to you guys.
Awesome. TradeFly, you're up, bro. What you got for us?
Man, you got me snoozing. I'm over here mixing it up in the chat. All right, let's check out Polygon on the 4-hour. Now, this one was kind of
Jack MATIC.
yeah, Captain Jack MATIC here at your service. I am the drunk sailor of this voyage. All right, that's for you, Ben. All right. Anyways, so this is a pretty easy play. All right. So you're looking at a psychological number of $1. So coming over to the chart, looking on the left, you can see it was resistance multiple times. It acted as support. And then you got a little break up. It held up and then whoom, all right, fell down. All right. So that dollar mark is pretty important. So keep that in mind. We came up, we got a nice movement up and right. And sure enough, that's where we found resistance. And now we're kind of pulling back here. So keep an eye on that. One of the things I'm looking at here, coming down to the prime oscillator, you can see, hey, like we're due, we're overbought. It tells you right here. That's what this orange indicates. And then you can see like it's calling a reversal on the 4 hour at least. All right. So I think, yeah, we could pull back a little bit. That would make sense. Now, where am I going to look? Well, I'm going to look on the chart. Where do I see support? Where do I see resistance? Let's go ahead and highlight that here. What? Boom, boom. Oh, missed that by a mile. All right, let's try that again. All right, there you go. So this would be the area I would be looking for personally if I was looking to get back into it, potentially if I missed the move. But that's not that far down. It's only at about 95 cents or so. So it could pull back. And I think that would probably be likely just looking at some of the other altcoins. Where are they at? It's kind of the same deal as we talked about last week. I feel like Friday, we're like, hey, a lot of things are in the same area. We're at this little area of resistance. You see a little pullback, which we did. And then, of course, Sunday night is like the Asian market opened up and everything started pumping again. So that's dope. But this is kind of the area I would be looking at. And then if it moves up and right, then we got to start looking at the chart. And where have we gone, at least recently? Well, we went all the way up as high as about 109. So that would be an area, let's say maybe 107 would probably be more like my play. You guys know how I am. I don't like to go all the way up to the resistance level because sometimes people will beat you out. They'll sell off. They're watching this too. You're not the only one, I promise you. All right. So I would probably look more at like 107, 108. Again, this is like short-term plays, not so much if you're hodling. If you're looking to layer in, then this is the area I would be looking at personally. And then what you want to see, though, is you want to come down and look at the RSI, the things like MACD, get some further confirmation, that, hey, we're seeing this starting to bend back up and right. MACD maybe across bullish. You want to keep an eye on that as well. So target area right here for me, about 95 cents or so, maybe a little higher. Yeah, about 96 cents would probably be my target area if I was looking to go long. And then if I'm getting out of this thing, initially you're looking at 103, but really if you're holding on, kind of looking at that higher area, 107. So again, bias for me is down before up. Cricket.
Awesome. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, I'm going to jump in here real fast. We got about 3 minutes. So I'm going to wrap this up real fast. We had a request for render. I'm going to address Meta. For the Meta, first of all, I wouldn't do anything on the look today because we do have a 3-day weekend. It's really going to be dependent on their pre-market opening tomorrow morning, man. But yeah, there is a gap down there. Definitely keep an eye on that CME gap from February. But until we get any indication of the futures market tomorrow morning, with it being a 3-day, I would not want to act on any TA that I put out today. We just had Market Friday action, and then everything's got to shake out for that 72 hours of no TradeFly exposure. So looking at render here, what we got going on, we do have a rejection point right now. I'm looking at a 1 hour chart. If I put this on a 4 hour, you'll see that our rejection coming right here with that upper band of the predictive ranges right there. We tried to get above it, broke down below it. If you take a look here, and I'm going to turn off the fib so you can see it better, this is our delta line coming in right there. You can see there's previous resistance. We broke above it, took off. Our bottom test, guys, these things print all the way back here. You could have literally traded predictive range all the way up. They play out over and over and over again on a 12-hour structure. So what I'm watching for here is a pullback to this 382 coming in right here with the delta median. Also, if I take a look at the oscillators, we do have the overbought. We are getting that ribbon twist, and we are getting small candles on the RSI. Could be a pullback there. First range of support that we're looking at is going to be the 236 at 5.95. But if that does not hold, again, looking at that blue delta line of the predictive ranges and that 382 coming in right there hot on top of it. So that's what I got for render. Let's jump over here to the trio cam. We got about 1 minute to put out the data for the week, guys. First off, Jenna X is going to be a guest right here this week on Friday. So shout out to my wingman, Jenna X. Going to have her on here tomorrow. I'm going to be a guest on Crypto Blood. So I'll be dropping a link to that. And X, make sure you guys are tracking that. And then shout out to all of the alumni, my Magna Cum, my Summa Cum. We got Speed, and we got Ben Redden, and we got Mr. J, and we got Mac Tire, and we're getting so many. We're growing. The community's growing.
White, I think he's coming up too.
Who is?
FD White.
Oh yeah, FD White. When's he coming on?
He is the 28th of February.
The 28th of February. We're going to have FD White on here. So there you go, guys. We've got a big lineup of guests that we're going to be bringing through here for you guys. And we love and appreciate everyone that gets something out of those, and those guys coming on and giving us their time for the alumni. So OC, TradeFly, you guys, anything to put out to the people before we wrap it up here?
Hey, as always, love mixing up with you guys. This is honestly one of my favorite parts of the day. And so we truly appreciate you guys. And, come on over to the Discord, chat it up with us a little bit. We definitely interact with you guys over there. We drop some more knowledge and some nuggets. If you guys get into the memberships, then you have some opportunity to see some of the calls that Piper puts out, OC puts out. I'm going to get a little bit better about that. But, mine is that 9 to 5, so sorry. But other than that, hey, you guys have a great day. Thank you. And I will pass it over to OC. Yes.
Oh, the other way around.
I'm learning.
So do I. Oh, guys, so thank you very much for sticking around. As you can see, we're doing everything that we can to make a little bit more entertaining. We get you always improve our TA, improve the information that we get to you guys. Thank you also for your requests. That also make things much more fun. And guys, as always, let me send you a ton of love from this side of the world. Here we go. Let's do it. And other than that, turning it back to you, Piper.
Awesome. Appreciate it, man. Hey, guys, thanks for joining us today on Piper Academy. Remember, none of this financial advice, but some good insight on what we could be looking at on the charts and the markets. We're going to get all of that moving there. Without any further ado, we're going to wrap this show up, guys. We're going to see you here tomorrow morning, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, bringing you guys the news, the charts, and the markets, everything you need to have knowledge, because knowledge is profit. Until then, trade safe. And as always, use a stop loss.
I don't know what they keep telling me. I don't know what they keep telling me. Ain't no school like Piper Academy. Ain't no school like Piper Academy. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling up the wheels flow low. I know you hungry for knowledge, that's profit appetite. Classes in session, this for the Army Piper acolytes. TradeFly, get the soul train ready. What a line from OCI, former Mexican spaghetti. Yo, crunch crypto with a deep dive to project dime. And if you like the visual powered by Car Prime, then you were part of that alumni, that's all spine. But if you have, step fall back to offline. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling up the wheels flow low. Sound off to get with them, the ZTS rhythm. Rip it, Alexandra.
Yeah, that's my alumni, you know what I mean.
That was awesome, dude!